Hello, and a pleasure to have you here. Fresh concern over xenophobia has erupted in South Africa after disturbing videos circulating online appear to show violent confrontations between South Africans and foreign African nationals at a camp where migrants and foreign residents had gathered. The footage, which had quickly spread across social media platforms, has reignited a debate that has haunted South Africans for years. Why do xenophobic tensions continue to resurface? And why do foreign Africans remain frequent targets of hostility, despite decades of calls for unity and coexistence across the continent?
Please don't.
Witnesses and commentators online claimed that some individuals arrived at the location and demanded that foreigners leave South Africa. What followed was a tense standoff that rapidly escalated into physical confrontation. Shouting, pushing, and scenes of panic could be seen in the footage as tension boiled over. While the full circumstances surrounding the incident remained unclear, the images have once again brought international attention to the recurring issue of xenophobia in South Africa. What has particularly alarmed many observers is the claim that the hostility was not limited to undocumented migrants. According to numerous reactions online, many of those targeted were foreign Africans generally, regardless of whether they possess valid immigration documents, work permits, residency status, or other legal authorizations. Critics argue that the highlights are deeper problems. They contend that xenophobic sentiments often extend beyond immigration enforcement and instead target people based on nationality, language, accent, or perceived foreign identity. For many Africans watching these events unfold, the images are painfully familiar. South Africa has witnessed several waves of xenophobic violence over the years, resulting in deaths, injuries, destruction of businesses, displacement of families, and widespread fear among migrant communities. Nigerian-owned businesses, Zimbabwean traders, Ethiopian shop owners, Somali entrepreneurs, and migrants from several other African countries have frequently reported being victims of attacks during periods of heightened anti-foreigner sentiments. Although government officials have reportedly condemned such incidents, critics argue that the problem continues to reappear because the underlying causes have not been adequately addressed. At the heart of the issue are economic frustrations facing many South Africans. High unemployment, poverty, inequality, and limited economic opportunities have created an environment in which foreigners are sometimes blamed for broader social and economic problems. Some anti-immigration activists argue that the foreign nationals are taking jobs, opening businesses that compete with locals, and increasing pressure on public services. These claims have fueled resentment in certain communities and have been used by various groups to justify campaigns against foreign residents.
We don't need foreigners here, document or not document. Please take and go. Enough is enough. Ramaphosa must fall. Ramaphosa must fall. We don't need Ramaphosa. All foreigners are belong here in South Africa. No one are belonging here. Ramaphosa, take them back home.
However, many analysts reject the notion that migrants are responsible for South Africa's economic challenges. They argue that unemployment, poverty, and inequality are complex structural problems that cannot be blamed on foreign Africans seeking opportunities. According to these critics, migrants often contribute positively to local economies by creating businesses, generating employment, paying rent, purchasing goods and services, and contributing to economic activity. They warn that targeting foreigners risks diverting attention away from deeper policy and governance issues that require long-term solutions. Another aspect of the latest incident that has generated controversy is the visible presence of law enforcement officers in some of the videos. While police personnel could reportedly be seen near the area, many viewers questioned whether enough was done to prevent the situation from escalating. Social media users expressed concern that authorities appeared reactive rather than proactive as tension increased. For critics, the scene raised important questions about how security agencies respond to xenophobia-related incidents and whether sufficient measures are being placed to protect vulnerable communities before violence erupts. The emotional reaction to the footage have been particularly strong among Nigerians and other African communities living both within and outside South Africa.
We want to go in our country. We came here. Now why are you taking us? We put in the van again. We must go Nigeria. For what? For what? God us in Nigeria. We want to go straight at home. We're tired. You're killing us. Some like not we are human beings. What you're doing is wrong.
Many commentators have pointed out that the numerous African nations played significant role during South Africa's struggle against apartheid. Countries across the continent provided political support, diplomatic backings, educational opportunities, and refuge for South Africans flee racial oppression. For some observers, the continued targeting of fellow Africans stand in the sharp contrast to the spirit of Pan-African solidarity that many hoped would define relations across the continent after apartheid ended. The latest confrontation also highlights the fear and uncertainty that many foreign Africans experience while living in South Africa. For years, migrants have reported concern about their safety whenever anti-foreigner campaigns gain momentum. Families who have lived in South Africa for decades often find themselves wondering whether they will once again become targets during the period of heightened tension. Business owners worry about losing everything they have built, workers fear harassment, parents worry about the safety of their children. These concerns have become recurring realities for many migrant communities whenever xenophobic incidents make headlines.
So we are not feeling safe here, no more safe here. Our business is not safe here in South Africa.
Across social media, many Africans have called on South African authorities to take decisive action to prevent further violence and protect all residents regardless of nationality. Others have urged community leaders, traditional authorities, religious figures, and political leaders to reject inflammatory rhetoric that portrays foreigners as enemies. Human rights advocates argue that every person deserves protection under the law and that disputes relating to immigration should be handled through legal processes rather than intimidation, threats, or violence. As the video continues to spread across the internet, the incident had once again forced difficult conversations about migration, economic hardship, identity, and social cohesion. The image serves as a reminder that xenophobia remains one of the most sensitive and decisive issues confronting South Africa today. Whether authorities can prevent future confrontations remains to be seen. What is clear, however, is that millions of Africans across the continent are watching closely, hoping that the latest incident will not become another chapter in the long and painful history of xenophobic violence that has repeatedly scarred South Africa's image and strained relations with its African neighbors. I am Chimezrim Victoria Kingsley Okoro. Thanks for watching.